Joining us right now on the DVE Morning Show is DVE Mario. Good morning, Mario. How are you?
Oh, well, obviously it's good to be here on the DVE Morning Show for the comedy and the local flavor. You know, you got to have that. Otherwise, it's just a generic morning zoo on the satellite, which isn't all that bad. You know, I like the Spectrum. I like the Outlaw. I do the Raw Dog for the comedy.
You're
sometimes
pretty talkative this morning, Mario.
Yeah.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I got a double banger espresso at Tim Hortons. Whew, those things are strong, I'll tell you what.
Where is there a Tim Hortons in Pittsburgh?
In my house. Yeah.
Oh.
Right next to the In-N-Out burger.
You have an In-N-Out burger in your house?
Small one. It's a very small, you know, double animal style. You know, that's what Staggy always gets.
You let Staggy over your house?
Well, you know, somebody's got to work at Tim Hortons, you know?
Well, Mario, off of that topic and on to what happened with Brandon Sutter. I know you have some opinions on this.
Well, you know, obviously we regret the dong shot. It's Root Sports, you know, it's not Skinamax or the Dong Channel.
I'm sorry, did you say the Dong Channel?
Is that a channel? You know, I don't even know.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't watch the TV much. Ever since it come back all wet from the outside the arena during playoffs, you know, everything turned yellow on the screen and just...
So, let me ask you this. Is Brandon Sutter embarrassed by all this attention?
Embarrassed? He should have got the third star that night. Did you see him? Enormous. Tell you, first time he see it, Sid was rattled. He came home, white as a ghost. You know, it's Sutsy. He should have been a goalie, huh? I mean, I always tell them, don't get caught leaning on your stick, boys. But Sutsy, you know, he could get away with it. Literally. Guy's a tripod. You know, after looking at it, I think that was the player to be named later in the Stalzy trade.
Yeah, it was quite impressive. I'll give you that.
Yeah, you know, the good news is that Dan Potash is going to host a new show on the Root starring Sutsy.
Oh, yeah? What's that going to be called?
Dong Dynasty. Yeah. This Potash's idea, you know, he insists. You want to host and everything. We're like, okay. You know.
Sounds like a great show. Thanks for calling in, Mario.
No pun
Appreciate it.
Intended. Yeah, you know, no wonder he gets called for the high stick so much. You know what I mean? You know, obviously that's a joke for a comedy, and you got to have that on the DVE Morning Show.
Thanks, Mario. Thanks for calling in. It's the DVE Morning Show.
Staggy, heat this coffee up next time. Lukewarm it.